live at Coyote Joe's for Fight Lab 23. I'm your host, Paul Boo, alongside Kevin Ferrant. We're here with MMA On the Rise. We've got a great card tonight.
We got 12 exciting fights featuring 2 pro fights, Mont McMullens versus Dana King, and the main event, Keith Richardson versus Dewan Owens, which is a fight that everybody in the area is excited about.
And it's going to be a great night of fights, so stay tuned to MMA On the Rise.
Welcome to MMA On the Rise, bringing you the best in mixed martial arts and combat sports. I'm your host, Tom Ziegler. Tonight we have a fight from Fight Lab 23 in Charlotte, North Carolina. The big boys are in the cage tonight. Mont McMullens takes on Dane King for North Carolina versus Georgia bragging rights. Stay tuned. MMA On the Rise here in Charlotte, North Carolina for Fight Lab 23 at Coyote Joe's. We've got our pro matchup for tonight. Co-main event, we've got Dana King making his way to the cage. 32 years old, coming in with a record of 2-2.
Now he comes to us, he's kind of back and forth, win-loss, win-loss. So his last fight was a loss against Chris Sutton at Wild Bill's Fight Night down in Atlanta by submission.
Yeah, he's had all his fights in the Atlanta area. Wild Bill's is well known in this region for bringing out very good fighters from that area. He comes up here to make his Carolina debut against one of Carolina's finest in Mont McMullens.
Yeah, Dana King's last fight was just 2 weeks ago.
Well, and it's also, too, he did lose that fight due to submission, rear naked choke in the first round. But his only other loss actually was against Chris Herring at Wild Bill's Fight Night 4 back in '06, but it was actually due to a knee injury. So it was where he basically injured himself and wasn't able to continue. So really he's only been stopped once. His first 2 fights were 05, 06, 07, and then there was a long break, and then he fought again just 2 weeks ago down at Wild Bill's. Basically he had a 5-year layoff. So he lost his last fight, but, you know, again, that was his first fight back after 5 years. I'm sure there was some ring rust there.
Yeah, 32 years old. The question is, what was he doing in those 5 years? I mean, was he 5 years sitting on his couch drinking some beers, or was he in the gym training trying to become a better fighter?
Well, we're about to find out here shortly. He's getting instructions from the referee, getting checked out. He's coming in as a heavyweight
Looks like by his build and his height, he may be able to make 205 actually.
Yeah, I anticipate probably a pretty big weight advantage for Mont McMullens, who's coming in right at the 265-pound limit.
DJ A-Rod, bring me Mont McMullen.
Now, Mont McMullen's coming in. His last fight was a win over Gregory Maynard at VFL. And then right before that, he actually suffered a loss due to submissions to strikes to a Keith Bell.
Yeah, Keith Bell's touted as one of the best heavyweights in the area.
So he's 1-1 as a pro, but he also had 5 fights as an amateur, which he went 3-2 as an amateur.
2 of them were for title fights.
Yeah, and he won his last fight as an amateur back in 2010, beginning of 2010. He went pro in February of 2010, lost that fight, but then came back in January of this year to win against Gregory Maynard. So he had a 2-year layoff as well, and then came back and got a win against Gregory Maynard, and now he's going to be fighting Dana King tonight. So both of these guys took a little bit of an extended layoff. Again, we've seen that throughout the night. That a lot of guys are sort of seem like they're coming back and resurrecting their careers after long layoffs. There's quite a few guys on the card doing that tonight.
Yeah, Mont's last win came in January up in West Virginia, and West Virginia's first sanctioned MMA fight, the VFL 34 MMA The Beginning.
Yeah, I believe that's Virginia Fight League. They've been doing shows out of Virginia for a while, and now they branched out into West Virginia. NAASF is also moving into West Virginia out of Ohio. So now that they're legalized MMA there and they're sanctioning fights, you'll see a lot more fights out of West Virginia. Now this is a pro fight, so this will be 3 5-minute rounds as opposed to the earlier fights we had tonight, which were amateur. 3-minute rounds. These are 5-minute rounds, as well as this will allow elbows and knees and kicks to the head, whereas the amateur fights do not allow that. These fights are pretty much everything goes.
Mont McMullen is now in the cage, an imposing figure at 6'2", 265 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Monster Energy Drinks, and it is in the pro heavyweight division. 3 rounds, 5 minutes each. First, introducing out of the blue corner, this gentleman stands 6 feet 1 inches tall and weighs in at 235 pounds. He comes to us from the fighting city of Atlanta, GA, with a record of 2 wins versus 2 losses, representing East Coast fighter Charlotte. Give it up for Dana King! And his opponent, standing to the left of me in the red corner, this gentleman comes to us from Shelby, North Carolina. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighs in at 263 pounds. He has an impressive MMA record of 3 wins versus 2 losses, representing Brian Jones Ultimate Karate. Give it up for the Night Train, Mont McMullen. Referee Dale Fry will give the instructions.
All right, we got Mont McMullen wearing the black trunks. Dana King wearing the white trunks with the black trim. Mont McMullen with a obvious weight advantage, weighed in at 265. Dana King weighed in at 235.
Here we go with round 1.
Mont
McMullen with the southpaw stance. Sorry for interrupting, Kevin Ferrand. I think you were about to say the same thing.
Stole the words right out of my mouth. Both fighters feeling each other out here. Dana
Nice.
King landing an inside leg kick there.
McMullen's answers.
Both of those kicks landing more with the foot, getting that slapping noise. They do sting, they do hurt, they do cumulatively add up. But when you see the leg kicks that land more with the shin, and there's more of a thud, and there's actually not much of a sound to it, those are the ones that really did the damage. The kind of loud popping kicks.
McMullens lands a nice straight left hand right to the chin of Dana King, and Dana King ate it like nothing to it.
Yeah,
those leg kicks that land with the foot can actually be painful to the foot.
Yeah.
Hyperextending it.
They will do damage to the leg as well. Some people discredit them completely. They do have some effectiveness, but it's not nearly as effective as the shin kick on the leg.
Much more power.
Yeah, actually, too, like you said, it is dangerous to your foot to land because you can actually break the small bones in the top of the foot or hyperextend the ankle by hitting with the foot.
Another nice inside leg kick.
McMullen seems to be stalking Dana King around the cage, and Dana King using more kicks than punches in the early part of this fight.
Looks like Mont is, kind of trying to employ a little more boxing, get in tight, throw that straight left right down the middle. And Dana King is relying a little bit more on chopping the legs. Not so much a lot of people would say a Muay Thai style, but he's not really standing in a Muay Thai stance. He's just chopping on those legs. Probably figures in the later rounds, if this goes later, Mont McMullen being the bigger guy, if he can wear down his legs, it'll stop some of that power.
Pay some dividends.
But Mont McMullen is firing back a few leg kicks here or there too, and scoring some shots with it.
McMullen seems to be following Dana King around the cage. I'd like to see a little bit of lateral movement to the right to cut off Dana King's movement to trap him up against the cage.
Yeah, a lot of times I refer to that as chasing versus stalking. Stalking, you're it's very distinct movements. You know where you're headed. You're trying to cut him off at a pass, basically. But some guys tend to just chase a guy around the ring and just more or less just follow him, and that's kind of what Mont is doing.
Dana King lings a body kick. Mont McMullen says, "Bring it."
There's two things he could do to try to stop that movement.
And there's the head kick like we were talking about. This is pros. You can see this is actually a little bit slower paced fight with it being pro, and some people don't understand that, but it's because both these guys are skilled. They respect each other's ability. They a lot of times aren't just going to run in blindly like you see with a lot of amateurs and collide. It sometimes gives you exciting fights in amateurs, but
in addition to that, this is the first heavyweight fight we've seen tonight too.
That is true. Heavyweights tend to be a little bit slower paced, but as you can see with that head kick McMullen's through, these guys are still agile, they're still skilled, and both of these guys, I think, have respect for each other's power. And there goes another one, but that one caught up underneath the arm. Head kick by Dana King.
What I was saying earlier was I'd like to see Mont McMullen use a little lateral movement to his right to cut off the cage, or he could even throw a lead right hook to stop that movement to Dana King's left that he's constantly using to escape.
Yeah, King's definitely circling away from that big heavy back leg kick, as well as the big left hand from Mont McMullen, as he should.
There goes the lead right hook followed by a straight left. That's what I'm looking for from Mont McMullen.
He must have heard you, Kevin. Little showmanship from Dana King.
A little sportsmanship there from both fighters.
King is landing that inside leg kick at will.
Yeah, McMullens made him eat a stiff left hand for the second time because of him. So, that's one of those things that it's when you're trading leg kicks for headshots, the headshots are going to win out.
He needs to be a little bit careful because all McMullens needs to do is time one of those kicks, get a solid left-handed.
Right.
Good exchange from Mont McMullen. Actually caught Dana King a couple of times. King eats it.
Like I was saying, you sure you're scoring with those leg kicks and they're doing their cumulative damage. They hurt, but they're very rarely is it going to finish a fight. Long term in the fight it will, but Mont McMullen has the power to finish that fight with one shot right here. So Dana King's got to be very careful.
And they finished the first round with a flurry.
I'm Nick, the Vanilla Gorilla Smith, and you're watching MMA on the Rise.
Very close first round. Somewhat slow paced, hard round to judge.
And honestly, when Dana King sat down on his chair, his coach from East Coast Fighter actually gave him the thumbs up like he was saying to him he followed the game plan to a T. So it almost seems as if they might be trying to drag this out into the second or third round, knowing that McMullens is bigger, is stronger, more powerful. They might be playing that outside game, that sort of kick game, staying away, just staying as safe as possible, get some cumulative damage, and hoping McMullens, with being the bigger guy, will tire out in the later rounds, because he kept that Dana King kept that same game plan throughout that round, constantly backing away, throwing his little pop shots with his legs, doing some damage, but never really pressing the action. And when he went to his corner guy gave him the thumbs up, like that's exactly what he wanted.
Dana King was looking at his right ankle where he was using that leg to throw a lot of kicks. It looks like he's experiencing a little swelling on his ankle, so a lot of those kicks are he's landing with his ankles as opposed to his shin, and it may affect him in the later rounds.
Now again, he throws that lead leg kick and pays for it with a left hand by Mont McMullens. Again, if you get into this battle between taking a headshot to give a leg kick, you're going to lose. The headshots are going to do more damage. If he's going to throw those leg kicks, he's got to get out of the way of that left hand that's coming right behind it. It definitely looks like Dana King is the definitely tireder of the two fighters.
Both fighters clinch up against the cage here, exchanging knees to the legs.
Now, Dana King is clinching up now. Well, he backs off now.
McMullen switched to the tie clinch and attempted a knee to the head, and Dana King easily got out of that.
King bleeding from the nose.
Oh, spinning back kick by McMullens, something you don't expect to see from a man of his size.
Yeah, it was actually like a spinning hook kick. He didn't even throw it as a straight shot. He threw more like a Taekwondo or karate style hook kick. He does come from a karate-based school. Obviously, they're well-rounded. They do a little bit of everything, I'm sure, but he is from a karate-based school.
McMullen's starting to land that left hand almost at will. Has bloodied up Dana King's nose. Another solid left hand.
He's finding a home for that left hand repeatedly now.
He's throwing the straight lead left down the pipe, which against an orthodox fighter is open.
See, now that's on Dana King. He took the leg kick, but then he also dove off with his head and took more of a lean in to the side off that kick. Looked like he was trying to defend that left hand, kind of get out of the way of it, which is a smarter thing to do. Again, Mont tags him again with that left hand.
He's dancing around the cage a little bit, stalking Dana King. Both fighters talking to each other and slapping fives in the middle of the cage, something you don't expect to see. Two men fighting.
They're starting to have fun with it a little bit. I mean, these guys are competitors, and they want to win. But, you know, a lot of these guys, they do this for the love of the competition, too. It's not just about the win. You know, some of these guys that place too much emphasis on having to win, they put so much stress on themselves. The guys that get in there and enjoy fighting, enjoy the competition, enjoy the sport, you know, there's something to be said about that. You know, a lot of these guys get so worked up going into the cage, you know, they're so, you know, worked up, tired, scared or angry or whatever the case may be, versus a guy who's going in there because he enjoys the competition. That guy's going to perform well.
Yeah, every time that Dana King throws that leg kick, McMullens is answering with a straight left. McMullens
looking for the overhand right.
Yeah, he switched stances periodically. Still using the showmanship. He's trying to psych Dana King out a little bit.
It looked like a solid right hand by King there.
Yeah, it was his best shot of the night from what I could tell.
Barely phased McMullens though. McMullens again looking for that right hook.
He needs to. Dana King needs to put that right hand out there more, just for the fact of threatening with it. He's relied so much on his kicks that they're not even affecting him on anymore because he's looking for them, and he's just setting that left hand up. If Dana King will throw that right some, set some hands up to set that kick up, he's going to be less likely to get countered by that big left hand of Mont McMullens.
That's usually the game plan against the southpaw, is that straight right hand down the pike.
Right down the pipe should be there every time.
I haven't seen it at all from Dana King.
Yeah,
Well, he
not
threw the
commit to
one.
it.
Yeah, he threw the one, but he didn't fully commit to it, and he gets the takedown. And again, this is what I was saying. I'm a little wondering if the first round and a half, that wasn't their game plan, to sort of play possum a little bit, try to tire McMullens out, lure him into a
Stand-up fight.
yeah, committing in too much of his punches, and then get that takedown. Because now, Dana King, he got that shot pretty decisively, and now he's going to work. Might be a little too late though. It's so late in the round.
It's all right. He's bringing it. He doesn't look tired at all anymore.
My name is Jordan Ronaldo. This is Joe Pacheco.
I'm Curtis Clower.
Shane Crenshaw.
We are the Hooter Girls.
Vanilla Gorilla.
Come front.
This is Adrian A. Henderson.
I'm Jason Fagler Jr.
Fernando Sarah.
We're the Hooter Girls.
And you're watching it.
You're watching. You better be watching.
And you're watching.
Are you watching it?
And you're watching.
MMA.
MMA.
MMA on the rise.
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 MMA on the rise. MMA on the rise.
MMA on the rise. Close round, and that takedown might have stole it for him at the end of the round.
Again, the way his corner reacted after that first round, gave him the thumbs up. He played passive again for the majority of that round, and then just attacked there at the end. But it's a risky strategy because he waited so long into that round. Mont McMullen very well could have took both of those rounds.
That's good intuition, Paul Boo. I think you very well could be right, because based on his corner's posturing after that round, they were telling him perfect, giving him the thumbs up again after that round. It very well may have been their strategy going in. Wait till the middle of the second round, then go for the takedown and start to pour it on. We're about to see here in the third round if they continue that strategy and see if you were absolutely correct on that.
It's risky for the fact that he might have waited too long into that round, because I think Mont took that second round. I think it's 2-0 right now.
I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think that second round was very close. I think Dana King stole the round with the takedown at the end.
You definitely can make a case either way. We'll see how the judges look at it.
And again, I'm not saying what I think, how I would score it so much. I'm going on what I think the judges are probably going to see based on my experience dealing with North Carolina judges. But again, you never know, because every judge and every state judges cards differently. And even though North Carolina's relatively good about being consistent, still, you never know. Again, Dana King going straight in for that takedown. I think he's going to turn it up and really try to get this on the ground now.
Nice brawl by McMullens.
McMullens is now bleeding from the nose himself. Good avoidance of that takedown. Dana King was pretty deep on that double.
McMullens continuing just to look for that left hand. His left hand's been definitely more effective than Dana King's right hand, when he finally throws it and lands a nice punch on McMullens.
Yeah, he actually finally committed to that right hand. He's got McMullens backing up now. See if he can follow up on that.
Now Dana King's corner is telling him screaming for Dana to take him down. Like I said, I think that was their game plan. And depending on how the judges saw that second round, and depending on if Dana can land a couple takedowns and some control in this round, will determine if that strategy is going to work.
McMullens landed a nice left hand right to the chest of Dana King. Just about 2 minutes left in this third round of this professional heavyweight battle. Or about 2.5 minutes, I'm sorry.
And
Danny King shoots again. Again, good avoidance by McMullen.
McMullen showing good hips and actually good speed considering his size.
Come on, Mont.
Yeah, he's definitely agile for a man of his stature.
Jab.
Another straight left.
Every time Danny King shows that kick, McMullens is answering with that straight left. I'd like to see Danny King set that up, fake the kick, Superman punch, something to change it up a little bit.
We're in another very close third round here between both these fighters. So far, slight edge to McMullens for controlling the ring and being a stalker.
Yeah, and he's landed a couple good left hands in this round too.
And King has been unsuccessful in his takedown attempts. McMullen again just letting that left hand go one after the other.
King takes a deep breath in the center of the cage.
Just 1 minute left in this fight.
I think King has to move in for the kill on this. It's his only chance. He's going to have to step in and get really aggressive. I just don't think he has the energy left.
Now both fighters visibly tired in the 15th minute of this fight. McMullen's corner warning him to be careful for the takedown. King shoots in. McMullens defends yet another takedown in the third round.
Little low blow with the knee there. Referee stops the action. Yeah, again, good avoidance by McMullens.
Looks like there's only, most likely there's only a few seconds left in the round.
Even the tallywhacker.
Yeah, this round is coming to a close. There'll just be a few moments for the fighters to have an opportunity to make their mark on the judges or score a late knockout.
Yeah, you're going to have 15 seconds of explosion here, I think, in a second. If they're smart, both fighters need to come out swinging and try to put a stamp.
Danny King's corner
round.
trying to give him some instruction. Referee warns him.
All right, back to the action. See how they finished the round here.
Nice.
10-second buzzer. Or clacker, I should say.
And there you have it.
Danny King was definitely landing some good leg kicks.
Absolutely.
But McMullen was answering back with that left hand and a few leg kicks of his own. So, I don't know. We'll see what the judges have to say.
And as the fight went on, you noticed Danny King's leg kicks became less and less aggressive as he worried about that left hand coming right down the pipe afterwards.
Yeah.
Not only that, he was landing a lot right on his ankle, and you could see from here the swelling on his ankle. That made it definitely played a toll into his decision to stop using those leg kicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight goes to the judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. All three judges score this bout 30-27 for your winner. Out of the red corner, Mont the Night Train McMullen.
Mont McMullens gets the nod from the judges. Myself, the Fight Tech, and the Master of Cool are in agreement.
Thanks for watching another exciting episode of MMA On The Rise. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at MMAOTR.
You can also like us on Facebook.
You can also visit us at MMAOnTheRise.tv.
And now you can follow us on Twitter at MMAOTR.
We'll see you next time on MMA On The Rise.